The path to the pinnacle of Mike Tyson's pugilistic career is etched in golden letters with indelible ink, crafted from the blood, sweat, and tears of all those who once tried to defeat him inside the boxing ring. Some more arrogant than others, Iron Mike keeps an extensive list of bodies left lying on the canvas of the most legendary rings across the world. This time, I bring you a countdown packed with utterly destructive jabs, direct hooks to the spirit, and brutal right-hand combinations that made the youngest heavyweight champion in boxing history not only the opponent to beat for so many, but also an untamable animal that others feared merely seeing step into the ring.
Early pressure and barrage by Mike Tyson.
Well, he's ready for it. He threw his...
We hope you're comfortable. Grab your favorite drink, because the level of aggression and violence you're about to witness will keep you hooked until the end of the video, and won't let go until the countdown is finished. Ready for an incredible journey back in time? Don't miss it. Mike Tyson versus Donnie Long. We move to October 9th, 1985, when Mike Tyson and Donnie Long had a date with destiny at the Drown Casino Hotel in Atlantic City, New Jersey, with a celebrity referee alongside them, Frank Cappuccino, a veteran of many historic bouts who is now part of boxing history. We knew this would be a fight to remember through the ages, as it was the first opponent considered legitimately powerful against Mike Tyson. Tyson's record remained spotless with 8 knockout victories, while Donnie struggled with his position, boasting 15 wins, 10 by knockout, and 3 losses. After the first bell, Tyson wasted no time in chasing down Donnie, while Donnie tried to keep his distance and throw warning jabs whenever he sensed danger.
That's what he will try and test Donnie Long with.
Tyson looked aggressive from the first round, as if he wanted to end the fight as quickly as possible because he had something else to do. He didn't seem to study Donnie's movements, he just aimed for the head. All Donnie could do at that moment was circle the ring and wait for an opportunity. That never came. At just 37 seconds into the first round, Tyson unleashed a left hook that sent Donnie against the ropes, and he fell to the canvas, standing up at the 3-second mark.
Years of age. Long is 27.
Oh, wow. Well, that was quick.
Tyson had a very serious expression, perhaps offended by Long's quick recovery as if his punch had not been so precise. Mike then unleashed a combination of blows that put Long back on the canvas at 1 minute and 2 seconds, making Long kneel and debate whether to continue in the first round.
Tyson. Oh, Long is down. Second time.
Long got back on his feet in seconds, only to receive a quick left to the chin that sent him back to the canvas. And he stayed there as Frank Cappuccino checked to see if he was still with us. The 3 knockdown rule wasn't in effect for this bout, but even before the security count began, Cappuccino stopped the fight, realizing Long was no match for the enraged Tyson. It was one of the best and shortest fights you can watch if you have 2 minutes of time. After this lethal beating, Tyson simply kissed the cameras and didn't say a word to the audience.
Tyson's extraordinary journey continues in the next episode of Tyson, Raw and
Mike Tyson versus Mitch Green. We go back to 1986, specifically to May 20th, a day that may seem like just another for some, but for true boxing lovers, it was the great night when Mike Tyson and Mitch Green clashed in the ring at Madison Square Garden in New York City. George Colon, George Gabriel, and Pat Dolan were the judges for this bout. The critical and well-experienced eye in boxing had to point out a clear winner in case the fighters' punches didn't do it, and they were right, as the fight had no knockouts. Tyson came into the match with a very clean record of 20 victories, 19 of them by knockout, unlike Mitch Green, who arrived with 16 victories, 10 by knockout, 1 loss, and 1 draw. It was anticipated to be a true battle of titans given the knockout potential of both fighters. Tyson showed a lot of energy from the start of the first bell, perhaps seeking to impress his opponent and give him no space or freedom in the ring. 3 times he knocked Green's mouthpiece out of the ring, and other times he left him in shock with short but devastating punches to the head and body. However, Green demonstrated the tough material he was made of by not falling under the power of the great legend Iron Mike, and he defended himself with quick bursts of punches whenever Tyson opened his guard. In addition to enduring Tyson's powerful right hands, which are certainly not recommended for anyone's health, without a doubt, the crowd of over 6,500 people witnessed a complete show filled with punches from the start. But by the end of the fight, they expressed their dissatisfaction with a chorus of boos, as Tyson never managed to put Green in serious danger. Only once during the early rounds did it seem like Mitch would hit the canvas after 2 right hands to the body. After 10 rounds that left both fighters exhausted, Tyson defeated Mitch by unanimous decision from the judges. Although it wasn't the fight with the ending the crowd had hoped for, it's remembered for being one of the few times Tyson faced an opponent he didn't defeat in the ring. Mike Tyson versus Frank Bruno. In 1989, specifically on February 25th, Frank Bruno and Mike Tyson made history by clashing at the Las Vegas Hilton Center in Nevada. This bout was known as Mike Tyson's first defense of the heavyweight title by the Ring magazine, his fifth defense of the IBF heavyweight title, his seventh defense of the WBA heavyweight title, and his eighth defense of the WBC heavyweight title. So many titles at stake. There was a crowd of about 9,870 people, and the average price per ticket to see the show was $700. It was Tyson's first fight in 8 months. Before this, he had never been out of the ring for so long, and everyone was eager to see what would happen. The Iron Mike machine started the fight as usual, very energetic, exchanging blows and trying to intimidate his opponent or force him into a defensive position. In his own corner, he landed a right hand directly to Bruno's jaw with enough force to knock him down, making it clear that he hadn't spent those 8 months completely retired. The crowd erupted in applause as referee Richard Steele counted to 8, allowing Bruno to return to the fight. However, Frank Bruno started playing dirty, landing a punch to Tyson's neck, for which a point was deducted. But what no one expected was that Bruno would recover by the end of the round, using his right hand to Tyson's face to immobilize him, and then his left hand to land a full hit. The knees of our champion, which had seemed unbreakable up to that point, had no choice but to retreat. Like any great warrior, Tyson knew how to get back into the fight, rising from the ashes and defeating Bruno by technical knockout at 2 minutes and 55 seconds into the 5th round. He delivered an incredible combination to the face, forcing the referee to stop the fight to prevent further damage to Frank Bruno. Still, after the fight, Bruno praised the powerful punch that made Tyson retreat, something we rarely saw throughout his boxing career, claiming it was more forceful than the punch Tony Tucker had delivered.
That's not shot. That's the photo shot. Beautiful shot.
Mike Tyson versus Peter McNeely. Breaking his own record for returning to the ring after a long absence, we go back to 1995, specifically to August 19th, when Mike stepped back under the spotlight to face Peter McNeely. Mike was back after 4 years following his prison sentence. Peter, with 30 wins and only 1 loss, stood before him. The fight was highly anticipated, as it was a financial success for the organizers, setting a record for fight sales, although we can tell you it only lasted a few seconds. Unlike most of Tyson's fights, Peter McNeely started aggressively, surprising our protagonist of the evening, perhaps thinking that Tyson would be out of shape after his long absence from the ring. But Mike was able to avoid Peter's wild punches, moving away from the ropes, not only dodging McNeely's attacks but also responding with bursts of punches to his opponent's body and head. A true battle of excellent boxers. Unlike most of Tyson's opponents, who usually wait for the perfect moment to attack, Peter McNeely was one of the few daring fighters who stood in front of Iron Mike and exchanged punches, a strategy that today seems insane for its time.
Back there waiting for that one shot. He isn't moving, and he's letting...
In less than 10 seconds after the fight started, Mike delivered a right hand to the chin that left Peter on the canvas, but Peter quickly recovered and the count only lasted 8 seconds. Despite falling, McNeely stuck to his strategy of staying aggressive. Although it wasn't going to be easy, as both fighters were exchanging powerful punches that echoed throughout the venue. In less than 20 seconds after the first knockdown, Tyson landed a strong right hook, which knocked McNeely down again. That was when Peter's manager entered the ring to stop the fight, as his fighter was taking too much damage and in just the first round. This simple yet very kind act was enough for the referee to stop the fight and declare Tyson the winner by disqualification. A spectacle you can watch in full color. For many, it would have been a shame to pay so much money for Mike Tyson's return after 4 long years, only to see him for just 1 round. But the spectators said it was completely worth it. Mike Tyson versus James Smith. Let's go back in time once again to March 9th, 1987 at the Las Vegas Hilton in Nevada for an incredible spectacle. Mike Tyson versus James Bone Crusher Smith, a fight that was etched into history despite its controversial ending, which still sparks heated debates today. Unlike other Tyson opponents, James Smith decided not to run away like a rat throughout the fight, but to fight fire with fire. This fight marked Tyson's first defense of his WBC heavyweight title and James Smith's defense of his WBA heavyweight title. Both contenders were more than ready to give it their all in this 12-round bout. Iron Mike came into the fight with a clean record of 28 fights, 26 of them by knockout, making him the favorite, while James Smith had 19 fights, 14 victories, and 5 losses. The fight lasted not due to an exchange of punches, but because James Smith hung on, even receiving 2 penalties from the referee for his blatant attempts to clinch Tyson when he could no longer dodge. However, the strategy seemed to work as Tyson grew increasingly frustrated by Smith's defensive approach, often resorting to shoving him in hopes of landing a decisive blow. Tyson managed to hit Smith with powerful shots to the body and head on several occasions, but none had the strength to knock him down.
16-9, 15-9.
Perhaps because Smith always ended up clinching, a tactic allowed to a certain extent. The fight dragged on to the 12th round, with Tyson visibly frustrated by his prey playing it safe.
A bit like the dentist getting a nice fella on the way in before he's about to perform.
At the end of the fight, the judges scored 119, 107, 119, 107, and 120, 106, resulting in a unanimous decision in Tyson's favor. Spectators remarked that the fight had the potential to be more exciting, considering both were world-class champions. But Smith's defensive strategy made it dull, with everyone guessing the winner by the 6th round.
I think Tyson did. And this will keep going.
Mike Tyson versus Tony Tucker. You might have been left intrigued when Tyson mentioned that Frank Bruno's punch was stronger than Tony Tucker's, since both managed to make him retreat. In this fight, you'll see why. Here we find Tyson in a bout where his opponent managed to finish standing but endured the worst beating of his life. On August 1st, 1987, the Hilton Center in Nevada once again hosted Tyson. This was a title unification bout. Tucker's first defense of his IBF heavyweight title, and Tyson's second defense of his WBA heavyweight title and third defense of his WBC heavyweight title. Thousands of fans were eagerly anticipating the fight, and it was a sales success as the Hilton was packed with people anxious to witness the match live, even from outside the venue. HBO broadcasted the fight worldwide, with everyone expectantly watching the outcome of this clash between two gladiators of the era. To our surprise, both fighters were undefeated until this day. Mike with a clean record of 30 wins, 27 of them by knockout. But even more surprisingly, Tucker had an even better record, 34 wins, 29 by knockout. Without a doubt, this was an unusual fight. One of them would lose their undefeated status, even if it was by decision. Critics were saying that finally, someone had come to end Iron Mike's unbeaten streak. Throughout the fight, Tyson struggled to land combos or even more than a single punch, as Tucker fought aggressively but knew when to back off and dance around the ring. Tucker's punches also packed power, shaking Tyson's head in the early rounds. However, as the rounds went on, Tucker began to lose stamina, ultimately surpassing the 12-round mark.
Another right hand by Tucker.
Nevertheless, Tony Tucker's strategy has been one of the most praised over the years, as he defended, dodged, and occasionally responded with flurries of punches that neutralized the unstoppable beast determined to take his undefeated record. 3/4 into the fight, Tyson became more aggressive but dropped his guard more, giving Tucker enough space to land a solid left hand that shook Iron Mike.
Well, you know, Ray, I harken back to your fight with Marvin Hagler where...
After the long battle, all 3 judges voted for Mike Tyson, giving him the unanimous decision victory. We can see both fighters talking after the fight, visibly hurt, but sharing a few words. Critics noted that there were no knockdowns in this fight because Tucker adopted fighting styles that had previously troubled Iron Mike throughout his career.
And we await the decision, and we have seen some. And here's my card.
Mike Tyson versus Tony Tubbs. A Tony who didn't know how to adapt his fighting style against Iron Mike, quite the opposite of Tucker. On March the 21st, 1988, Tony Tubbs faced off against Iron Mike in Tokyo, Japan. The fight was scheduled for 12 rounds, but had a very premature ending. It was Tyson's second defense of the heavyweight title and his 5th defense of the WBA. With a personal record of 33 victories, 29 of them by knockout, Tyson was the favorite against Tubbs' 25 wins, 16 by knockout, and 1 loss. During the first round, Tubbs had the energy to trade punches with Tyson, throwing quick combinations and dodging danger whenever he sensed Mike gearing up for a big attack.
Now gives a lot of head movement.
However, Tubbs had a slack posture with few movements in the ring, giving Tyson a big target for his deadly fists. By the second round, Tyson had already adapted to Tubbs's fighting style, and Tubbs was closer to breaking than he realized.
So now his punches have been more fluid.
Look at Tyson with the rapid-fire 3 jabs in a row. Something new within...
Time and again, Tyson launched strong body shots, inflicting significant damage on his opponent's stamina. Tyson cornered Tubbs against the ropes and hit him with a combination that opened Tubbs's guard. Iron Mike then landed a left hook to Tubbs's right eye, sending him to the canvas.
I couldn't tell whether or not the punch hurt.
Tubbs is hurt. Tubbs is hurt badly.
Tubbs fell flat on his back, and the referee began the count, but Tubbs failed to get up, ending the fight in the second round. What did you think of our list of Tyson fights? Feel free to leave your favorites in the comments or suggest others you think should be part of this top list for a second round. Remember to follow us and like for more videos like this.